Here on ITV1 Wales, our Sunday afternoon film is the musical comedy set in New York, Thoroughly Modern Millie. That's in 30 minutes.
It isn't easy for anyone to find their perfect soulmate, but we're on our way now to the place where two lonely young people met for the very first time. And I'm happy to say we played a part in their story. So this is what happened when Sarah met Carl. We all want to be loved and find someone to love. We hope our perfect partner is out there somewhere. But sometimes you need to give fate a helping hand.
I'm mad about the boy, and I know it's stupid.
Carl is looking for love, but for him, finding a partner is slightly more difficult. Carl has a learning disability.
Carl had a slight lack of oxygen to the brain when he was born. It caused this disability that he now has. Mainly, he can't read or write is the main thing that has happened to Carl that has held him back in his life.
Carl hasn't been very lucky in love. He'd like to meet someone with a similar disability that he can relate to.
I just want a girlfriend.
But it's easier said than done. So Carl asked his mother Leslie to write to us to see if we could help. So we did. In conjunction with MenCap, we invited Carl onto the show to explain just who he was looking for.
We're going along to MenCap this morning to see the photographs and the letters of all the young ladies that have answered to That's Esther.
I'm really excited. I'm happy.
Let's meet the young lady Carl chose to take on the date.
I'm Sarah. I'm 27 and I work in the kitchen. I'm a kitchen hand. I love dancing. Love going to the movies, love listening to music, so all sorts.
Like Carl, Sarah's
always found it difficult to make friends, meet friends, because of her slight learning disabilities. So, are you looking forward to Friday then?
Oh, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it.
Day in London?
Yeah. I feel like I'm left out. When I go out with my friends, I feel like when they're with their couple, I'm like, but I feel like the gooseberry. It's only when I'm with my friends I'm like, ah. Hi. Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So who's going to break the ice first?
I've heard you met that David Beckham.
Yeah.
I'm very jealous.
So what did you think when you first saw the film of Carl on television saying, you know, that he'd like to meet somebody?
Well, first of all, I was very interested to see you because both my mum and my sister-in-law said that you sounded like me and looked a bit like me.
Yeah.
Although I think you look a bit younger, but
no.
Yeah, that was...
Mum's friend's got a place in Spain. And they've got it.
We were both happy, hoping that there might be something more, but even if it's just friendship that they can have of the opposite sex for each other would be nice, wouldn't it?
Somebody they can just phone and have a chat. It's really good, really good.
Yeah, because you do need more than just men friends and girlfriends and family. They need somebody of the opposite sex, and I think that they'll at least get that if
yeah.
I think they'll get romance, actually.
Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're with your baby, last row in the balcony.
Both look pretty chuffed, so who knows?
Who knows, yeah.
Could be new hat, Leslie.
So the mums got on well, but did the kids?
The date went really well, and I hope I do see Carl again. It went really, really well, and I really like him. It's really nice.
The date's it's nice. I want to see her again. It's beautiful.
For someone exactly like you, I've been traveling all around the world.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take
We've been together now 5 months, and we are now boyfriend and girlfriend. We're really happy.
I love Sarah. She's a beautiful girl, and she's the number one.
He's very romantic.
And I thank God I'm alive. You're just too good to be true. Can't take my
Got someone there, and I'll take her out, pictures, simmer, and I love it.
I feel so relieved that I've got something in common with, so it's really made me chuffed actually.
But if you feel like I feel,
They've gelled so well. They're as if they're really quite made for each other, aren't they? Yeah, they've got the same likes and dislikes and really comfortable in each other's company. We're getting along great, aren't we, Liz? As we
Which we knew we would.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just too good to be true, I suppose.
So what does the future hold for both of you then? What any future plans or?
Next year.
trust in me when I say, oh pretty baby, don't bring me down, I pray, oh pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you.
Well, we're here in the very restaurant where Carl and Sarah had their first date with the proud mums. Did you ever really think, Liz, that this was going to work as well as it has?
I had faith in you.
How kind. We ought to set up as a dating agency, do you think?
Yes.
So what change have you seen in Carl?
He seems more proud. Yeah, he's got a girlfriend now, and he's a totally different person, really. When he comes out to see the family and friends, he's all proud and loves showing Sarah off as well. And Sarah loves coming up, doesn't she, and being shown off.
Such a lovely story. And have you seen a great change in her too?
Confidence-wise, I never ever thought that Sarah would go on her own to London on the train, which she does quite happily. And also, I mean, the thought of her going on the underground on her own, I don't want to go on the underground on my own. And Sarah is quite happy to leave Littlehampton and make her way to see Carl by train and underground, which I think is wonderful.
What difference has it made to you?
Apart from the difference it's made to Sarah, just for myself personally, because Sarah has a mild disability. I don't know anyone else in my area who's in a similar situation. I've never had anyone that I could talk to.
How about it, or did you prefer to keep it secret?
I spoke to professional people,
Yes.
but because Sarah was such a borderline, there was no obvious help, and they told me that. They were quite upfront about that. But no, I didn't mention it socially with people, but now I find I can talk about it.
Now, what about the future? Presumably you've both thought about the future, have you? I mean, obviously it's none of our business, really.
Well, it is.
But we can't help interfering, can we?
Yeah, no, it is. It's they seem to think they've got a future at this moment in time, don't they?
They're very happy and...
Has the word engagement ring, or...?
Oh, yes, definitely, yeah. Carl's said that he'd like, on New Year's Eve, in front of all the friends. We had a karaoke evening, and Carl said, "Sarah, I want to marry you." In front of everybody.
It's so nice. And she said,
Yes.
does that mean they are officially engaged?
No.
Not really, no. It's just a bit of fun at the moment, but they both just
I think
enjoy.
they both know that it's early days, but that is how they're looking forward to. It's a dream come true, isn't it, really?
I tell you, if there's a wedding, I'm going to buy a hat, definitely. Definitely, you'll be the first to know.
Carl and Sarah's story is a romantic one, and so far, so good. But they may have a lot of potential problems around the corner if their relationship develops. Problems that learning disabilities nurse Stacey Atkinson is only too well aware of. Last year, Stacey won Nurse of the Year award for her outstanding work giving young people with learning difficulties sex education.
People with learning disabilities can't often voice their need. Quite often that person has got limited communication skills, limited social skills, and at the end of the day, they want love.
Hitting puberty is a difficult time for anyone. When you have a learning disability, it's sometimes even more difficult.
How many teenagers have no behavioural needs? You know, how many teenagers don't experience teenage angst, don't lose the temper with the parents? You know, it's the same with every other child. So really, there was a need there to start educating children. There are a lot of horror stories in the field of learning disabilities that happen really when children aren't given information about growing up. I come across boys where there's a suggestion of medication to be given to dampen down sexual urges. I mean, that's really, it's Dickensian, in the words of Tony Blair, it's Dickensian. Through my work, I've found that, you know, if you do teach children about growing up and about the expectations that are placed on them, about their changing bodies, about how to self-care, appropriate behaviour, where it's appropriate to do something, where it's not, things can improve, they can learn, they can develop, and they can be responsible and advocate for themselves and be accepted in society.
Through group sessions with parents and children, Stacey teaches her development programme.
I've had lots of different success stories, really. To see a child, you know, develop, to see their behaviour really change because of the parents' attitudes, you know, because they now see them as a developing sexual person, and to see their behaviour really develop is fantastic.
The thing I found really hard was when they diagnosed Alexander, the consultant said, yes, your son is profoundly autistic and there's a possible mental disability as well. And they'd say, right, they diagnose your child as being mentally and or physically disabled, and then, right, bye, off you go. We have no training. We don't go away and train as a special needs teacher or a nurse. And you think, well, what do we do now? Where do we go? And I'm so glad that we were referred to you and the team for advice to deal with some of the inappropriate behaviour that kicked in when puberty kicked in, because it was such a shock to myself and the family that suddenly we have this big strapping teenager with behaviour that we thought that would never happen, and then how do we deal with it in a patient and loving way?
Not everyone agrees with what Stacey teaches.
I've been threatened by families because I've condoned really the relationship between couples, and I've condoned, you know, them people wanting to be together, and I've been threatened by violence from carers on more than one occasion. My work is being published at the moment, and it would be nice if that was implemented for all people with learning disabilities. But the other thing is, there has to be, at the end of the day, some acceptance. This would be like the great thing that could happen, you know, that there'd be some acceptance of people with learning disabilities and their sexuality and their individuality. There's a really good quote for me that sums things up, and it talks about if denying the person's sexuality, and you deny the person. And in the year 2003, which is where we're at, that just can't be allowed to happen.
Love can build a bridge.
Join us in a minute when we'll be hearing the heartbreaking story of a couple with learning disabilities whose child was nearly taken away from them.
With car insurance from More Than, you can protect your maximum no-claim bonus for life, whatever happens.
Lucky?
That's more than lucky. To protect your no-claim bonus for life, don't accept less than More Than. Call 0800 300 202.
At Marks & Spencer, our Count on Us range has over 200 different products guaranteed to contain less than 3% fat. So it's perfect for people who like to watch what they eat. Marks & Spencer's Count on Us range. Extraordinary food every day.
Extreme. Experience. Expression. The Nissan X-Trail.
On days like these, I enjoy the games. It's the food I dread. Because I'm trying to lower my cholesterol, I worry about what to eat.
Thanks to its unique active ingredient, no other spread lowers cholesterol levels more than Flora Proactive. And clinical trials prove it.
Unbelievable. My cholesterol's dropped so quickly. Now, I can focus on winning.
Proven to dramatically lower cholesterol. Flora Proactive.
Looking for a loan? Running up against problems all the time? Difficulty in clearing credit card debts? Have you been refused elsewhere? Are you in arrears or have CCJs? Do you have a poor credit rating? Are you self-employed or have no equity? Or are you retired and life feels like one hurdle after another? Well, now a call to Norton Finance could cut your problems down to size. And whatever your circumstances, we could help. If you're a homeowner, our loans are for any purpose and repaid over a period that suits you. We could help you to consolidate all your existing debts into one low monthly payment, and you could have cash left to spend on the things you need. So for a fast, no-fuss homeowner loan, call Norton Finance now free on 0800 043 1333. That's 0800 043 1333. Lines are open 24 hours a day.
Mr. Sheen helps save me time with his new Spring Fresh Furniture Polish Wipes. He says it's his new formula for cleaning, polishing and fragrancing. I do. Cleaning and polishing everywhere is now as easy as wipe away. Then
wipes away.
Mr. Sheen shines the team.
Car insurance, don't accept less than More Than. Get £30 off only when you buy online at morethan.com. Hurry now.
Earlier, we met Carl and Sarah, who both have learning disabilities. We introduced them to each other on this programme, and we followed their story along the way, from their first date to their first kiss. We're delighted that they found love and happiness together. Who knows, maybe one day they may decide to get married. What happens when couples with learning disabilities have children? Do they need support? Are the children at risk? For one couple, things went badly wrong. Meet the Bell family, enjoying a night out together at the fair. But for them, their world came crashing down when their son was almost taken from them. This is their story. Last year, Chris and Jean went through the nightmare of having their child Shane put on the at-risk register for neglect.
We thought we were going to lose him.
Chris and Jean both have learning disabilities caused by complications at birth. They lead independent lives, and Chris works as a part-time gardener.
I don't think Shane misses out on anything that any other child misses out on, whether his parents have a learning disability or not. He has a good support network, he accesses all community activities, and with the support of his mum and his dad, and with the community nurses, he does very well.
What do you think is being a good parent then?
Trying your best to look after him, get everything what like he needs in. Because when you get to know him, you can see him when he loves, when he wants to show you he loves you. He comes and gives you a cuddle all the time.
But last year, when Shane was taken to hospital with stomach problems, the authorities questioned whether they could cope as parents. Social services were contacted by the hospital, as they were concerned that Chris and Jean might not be fit parents. David Walton, MenCap family advisor, was called in to help.
If Chris and Jean did not have a learning disability, I doubt very much there would have been a child protection issue, and I don't imagine social services or health would have been involved. It was purely because they had a learning disability that alarm bells rang with social services.
Shane's upset stomach was only minor, but as a result, he was put on the at-risk register.
What's the corners?
Oh.
Crushed.
Yes, too.
Social services become involved when they think there's a child at risk, and rightly so. What our argument is as an organisation is to look at the family, not just the child. Yes, the child is a priority and we would not disagree with that, but look at the family as a unit and look at the strength of the family and the strengths they have to bring up children. Don't just automatically think a child has a learning disability or there's a child protection issue there. Let's look at the thing holistically.
It was 6 months before social services decided that Shane wasn't in any danger and Chris and Jean were fit parents.
Chris and Jean are very good parents. If you see the interaction between them, between Shane and Chris and Jean, it's excellent. There's a lot of love in the family, and Shane receives a lot of stimulation from Jean and Chris, and it's a lovely family, and they get on very well together. As Shane gets older, there may be difficulties. Because of Jean and Chris's intellectual ability, Shane will actually sort of bypass them as he gets a bit older. But if there's correct support and provision in place, then it shouldn't be such a problem.
Shane doesn't appear to be held back by his parents' learning disability.
Teachers help him at school with his homework or his reading at school.
People assume that parents who have learning disabilities have children who have learning disabilities, and that is just not the case in our experience. Shane doesn't have a learning disability, and he's actually thriving with the parenting skills Chris and Jean have and the support networks that are in place. So how's Shane doing then?
Okay.
Is he? Jean and Chris isn't an uncommon story. We are finding now in the North East that we're getting referrals all the time and now for parents with learning disabilities and child protection issues. We'll get a meeting set up with Sue and Laura and yourselves.
If you want.
Right, what I'll do, I'll ring Sue tomorrow. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Oh, good night, Daddy.
Good night. Didn't want you, little monkey, eh?
Yes, Daddy.
I think everyone, whether they have a learning disability or not, should be able to parent. It's a basic human right as far as I'm concerned, and those people who are against it just need to come up to Sunderland and see how Jean and Chris do it. They do a fantastic job as parents, and I can give you many, many examples of that.
obviously a very sad state of affairs when a couple risk losing a child when they're really looking after it extremely well. But I suppose from the social worker's point of view, they get damned if they do and damned if they don't.
Yes.
So it must be very difficult for them to know when to intervene and when not to.
Yes, and I think they need our support. They need training. They need to look at each family's circumstances separately and individually. This is a unique family. You can't apply hard and fast rules. It's a judgment.
It's good news for Chris, Jean and Shane that the family are still together. For Carl and Sarah, we hope that whatever they decide for the future, they'll have all the support they need. Now, you were partly instrumental in finding Sarah because you helped us go through the letters and select her. So how do you feel about that now?
Well, I think I'd back off a little bit and say this was very much Carl's choice. I feel really tickled pink. I mean, just to see the confidence in Carl since I've known him. That sort of inner confidence that's grown, not so much from having met Sarah, I'm sure that's part of it, but even before then, being listened to and respected and helped has made him more talkative. You can see his sense of fun coming out. It's been a wonderful experience to be associated with it.
Carl and Sarah are so happy. We wish them all the luck in the world. Do let us know if you too have had problems finding love, though we can't promise we can play Cupid this successfully every time. If you'd like a copy of this week's advice pack, call us now on 0906 366 1666 or write to That's Esther, P.O. Box 888, Southampton SO14 OBF.